All right, today we are diving into one of the biggest, most complex challenges in all of medicine, brain tumors. We're going to look at how artificial intelligence is basically giving radiologists superpowers, a new set of tools to see what the human eye just might miss. So let's get right into it.
So here's our game plan. First, we'll unpack why this is such a tough nut to crack. Then, we'll meet the AI algorithms that are leading the charge. We'll see what kind of data they need to survive, tackle that all-important question of trust, and finally, see how this amazing tech is making the leap from the lab to the clinic.
Okay, so first things first, the brain tumor challenge. What is it that makes this one of the hardest puzzles in medicine?
Well, it all boils down to this one simple but massive question. You see, radiologists are incredibly skilled experts, but we're talking about a level of complexity here where even the best of the best can face a serious uphill battle.
And here is the absolute heart of the issue. Brain tumors aren't all the same. They are incredibly diverse. Doctors have a fancy word for it, heterogeneous. Now, you combine that with the mind-boggling detail you get from a modern MRI scan, and you've got a task that is just monumental. Finding, outlining, and then classifying a tumor with speed and accuracy, it's a massive challenge, and that is exactly where AI can step in and be a real game changer.
So what's actually doing the heavy lifting here? Let's pop the hood and take a look inside the AI toolkit to meet the algorithms that are making all of this possible.
To really get this, you've got to understand there's been this huge shift in thinking. With the old-school classical machine learning, human experts had to literally spoon-feed the computer, telling it exactly what to look for. Hey, check for this texture, or measure this exact shape. But deep learning? Whoa, it's a completely different ballgame. It actually teaches itself what's important, learning directly from thousands and thousands of images.
So, the first tool in the box, that's the CNN, or Convolutional Neural Network. The best way to think of these guys is as the pattern detectives. They are the absolute workhorses of image analysis. They're just brilliant at spotting those key visual clues and patterns that help answer the big question, is this a tumor or is it not? Up next, you've got UNETs. Now, if CNNs are the detectives, UNETs are the precision artists. See, a CNN might just say, yep, there's a tumor right here. But a UNET's job is to take a digital pen and draw an incredibly precise, pixel-perfect line all the way around it. And that process, which is called segmentation, is absolutely critical for planning treatments and for tracking if a tumor is growing or shrinking.
And this is where it gets really fascinating. Then you have transformers, which we can call the big picture strategists. Now get this. These models actually started out in language processing, like for Google Translate. But it turns out they have this incredible, unique skill. They can look at the entire image all at once. They see the whole forest, not just the trees, understanding the global context and all the complex relationships inside the scan. It's a total game changer.
So you've got these incredible algorithms, but on their own, they're kinda useless. They need food, and that food is data. Lots and lots of data. Which brings us right to our next section, fueling this AI revolution. And listen, when I say a lot of data, I really mean it. Just take a look at this number. Over 7,000 MRI images, and that's in just one single public dataset on a platform called Kaggle. That's not even the whole story. That's just one of many. These models have to see thousands upon thousands of examples to get good at what they do.
The entire field is really being pushed forward by these huge public datasets. Take BraTS, for example. It's basically the gold standard, the Olympics for AI models. Researchers from all over the world compete to see whose algorithm is the best at outlining tumors. It's this amazing collaborative effort that just constantly pushes the boundaries of what's even possible.
So, what do you do if you don't have millions of images lying around? Well, researchers have this really clever trick up their sleeve called data augmentation. They take one single image, and then they create a whole bunch of new ones from it. They'll rotate it, flip it, zoom in, even warp it just a little bit. What this does is it teaches the AI to recognize a tumor from any angle, any size, making the model so much smarter and more robust in the real world.
Okay, this all sounds incredibly powerful, right? But here's the big question. How can a doctor actually trust what an algorithm tells them? And that takes us to maybe the most important section, making AI trustworthy.
And that really is the million-dollar question, isn't it? If an AI spits out a diagnosis, a doctor needs to know why. You can't just trust a black box, not when a patient's life is hanging in the balance.
This is where something called Explainable AI, or XAI, comes into play. These are basically tools that let us peek inside the AI's mind. So techniques like Grad-CAM can create a heat map, like a weather map, right on top of the MRI. It shows you the exact spots the AI was looking at when it made its decision. Suddenly, the black box isn't so black anymore. It's transparent, it's verifiable.
And here's another brilliant safety net. It's called uncertainty quantification. The easiest way to think about this is like an "I'm not sure" button for the AI. If the model looks at a scan and isn't 100% confident, it can raise a flag and say, hey, a human needs to look at this. This creates this crucial partnership, right? The AI can blaze through the routine stuff and then escalate the really tricky cases to the human expert.
All right, so we've got these super powerful algorithms, and we have ways to make them trustworthy. The final, critical piece of the puzzle is actually getting them out of the research lab and into the clinic where they can help real patients.
And the performance we're seeing now, it's just staggering. I mean, look at this. There's a model that can classify tumors with over 99% accuracy. Another one can spot a tumor in under 10 milliseconds. That's literally faster than you can blink. And for that precision outlining, hybrid models are getting incredible scores. These aren't just small steps forward. These are massive, massive breakthroughs.
But listen, at the end of the day, a high score in a research paper doesn't help a patient. The real goal here isn't just about accuracy, it's about integration. The focus right now is on building this technology into user-friendly platforms and toolkits that can plug right into a hospital's normal workflow and give that radiologist an answer in real time.
Now, of course, the work is far from done. The road ahead has some big hurdles. We need to figure out how to combine data from different hospitals, using different scanners from all over the world. We need to build systems that can look at MRIs, CT scans, and PET scans all at once. And we have to do it all while protecting patient privacy, using new techniques to learn without ever sharing sensitive data.
There's a quote from the research that just sums up this whole vision perfectly. It's not about finding one single magic algorithm. No, the future is about building these huge, comprehensive systems that can look at all kinds of data, that are proven to work for anyone, anywhere, and that are constantly getting better in a way that's both transparent and safe.
Which really just leaves us with his one final thought to chew on. We're heading towards a future where AI isn't replacing the doctor, it's becoming an incredibly skilled co-pilot sitting right there in the cockpit with them. So what does that future of diagnostics even look like? And maybe more importantly, how could this powerful new partnership change patient outcomes forever?